Hello out there, my name is Felix Okeke. I am your marriage counselor and coach, and this is Marriage Without Tears channel. It's a very transformative channel. This is a channel where every couple that wants to make a difference in their marriage should pay attention to. As you learn some of the lessons and some of the nuggets that come out of this channel, you will see your marriage positively transformed to the glory of God. And the topic we are bringing tonight is simply titled, should a married man have female friends? Should a married man have female friends? If you are yet to subscribe to this channel, please do it immediately. There's a red button by my side. Click on this red button and get subscribed and become part of this family. Should a married man have female friends? A couple of years ago, something happened in my marriage. It was like the 10th or the 12th year of my marriage. I had a female friend that I had come to know over the years, and somehow this lady, unmarried, had become part of my family in terms of friendship. She had gelled with us, with my wife. We had become such a wonderful set of family, and my wife knew that she was my friend, and I was the one who introduced her to introduce both of them together. So they became close friends. They loved one another. At a particular point in time, I and my family, my wife and I and the children, we moved to another part of the city in Nigeria. And while we were there, about 2 years of being in that city, one day my wife woke up in the morning and said she wants to travel to the village with the children and with the rest of the family to enjoy their vacation. I said, why not? So I escorted them to the bus terminal. They entered the bus and they left. An hour later, I got a call from the lady in the other side of the city, our old friend, saying she's on her way to my place in our present city. Wow. Before I could say anything, she said, oh, she has even told my wife earlier in the morning that she's on her way. And my wife said she's with that all of us, we are expecting her. Wow. I said, okay, I will get back to you. So I logged up the call. What is happening? I now called my wife. She was already in the vehicle. They were on highway. I called her, said, look at what I just received. She said, yes, I've also gotten the same call. Why don't you take care of her? I told her that I didn't want to give her the impression that I was traveling so that she doesn't get disappointed about the whole. I had to tell her that we are all waiting for her. I said, why don't you take care of her when she comes? I said, what are you talking about? I'm the only person in the whole flat. I'm only the person in the whole. I'm alone in the house. He said, oh, that makes it better. At least now that she's not around and the whole family is not around, she's the right person to keep me company, cook my food, take care of some certain things in the house. Why am I concerned about that? I said, no, it is not pleasant to me. I mean, she said, I should not worry about it. I should just take care of myself, look after her well, and that's it. My God. When I off the call, I began to wonder what is going on. How do I handle this situation? I waited anyway until the lady finally arrived very late in the evening. As she came into the house, I dragged her luggages into the house. She was like, where is your wife? Where is your children? Why is the whole house at the? I said, well, I'm the only one at home. My wife has traveled. She said, no. She has been, she has been communicating with my wife every now and then. And my wife said, oh, that we are all waiting for her. I said, well, she doesn't want to get you upset. I'm the only one around. I'm the only one in the house. However, if you are, if you are feeling somehow about being alone with me, why don't I take you to a place, get you a hotel somewhere, and where you lodge until whatever. He said, no, what am I talking about? She's free. She can stay in the house. I said, okay, fine. Do I let you know that that lady was in the house with me for 2 whole weeks? She actually came for a particular transaction. She was in that city with me, living all alone in that same house, going to the same toilet, using the same facilities, sleeping on the same bed with me for 2 whole weeks. And nothing happened. There was nothing intimate between us. We just lived. And to every outsider, to anybody that came to my house that time, it was like, oh, he pushed his wife away and then got a mistress immediately. But I didn't actually care. The reality is that we were honorable to one another. We didn't want to mess around, and we were together for 2 whole weeks. It was a very fascinating time. She took care of whatever she wanted to take care of. And honestly, it was not easy being in that kind of environment. This was a very attractive and very wonderful lady. But that friendship has continued even till today. And 2 days later, after she left, my wife and the family came back to town. And honestly, it was an experience I still cherish even till today. How can two people matured enough with all the statistics in place be able to stay in the same environment, in the same house, in the same room, sharing the same bedroom for 2 whole weeks and nothing happens? Sometimes people don't believe it, but that is the truth. That is exactly what happened. And we begin to look at it. How can such relationship exist between a married man and another lady without problems, without getting the envy or getting the jealousy or then any manner of shenanigans between you and your wife, or even between you and the other lady? How can that be? That is why we brought this topic. How do we handle it? If you are yet to subscribe to this channel, please do so immediately. There's a red button by my side. Click on it and be part of this channel. And for some of the stories I have told you, please, if you have your comment, there's a comment section below. Just pen down your comments and let me know how you feel about the story I've just told you. Now, let me tell you, how do we handle it? Number one, if you discover that you cannot handle your libido, you cannot handle yourself as a man in the presence of a woman, no matter how attractive she may be. If you discover that you are finding it difficult to do so, please don't try it. Don't have an intimate relationship. Don't have a close relationship with a woman outside of your marriage. Whatever friendship you want to exercise, please do that with your wife. If you discover that you can't hold yourself, if you discover that you are finding it difficult, emotionally and physically, you can't handle yourself looking at the nakedness of another woman, or are not feeling the urge to take her to the to the bedsheet. So if you can't handle yourself in that aspect, please don't even try to have such a close relationship. It is dangerous. The second thing I must also say, if you discover that any friendship you have with a member of the opposite gender is drawing the envy or the jealousy of your wife, I tell you, or somehow she isn't even beginning to complain about it bitterly, please, I tell you, honor your wife and cut off from that relationship immediately. Otherwise, you will be sounding a death knell to your marriage. It is very, very important. The third one is the emotional well-being of the other person, of the woman involved. If you discover that the woman involved, your friend, is more emphatic, is more passionate, and desires to have you in bed, you know that is her ulterior motive. You can sense it. Please, I advise you as a man to withdraw from such a relationship immediately, because you can't hold it for too long. If a woman decides to have you as a man, you can only hold on for a little while, but you are going to capsize as a man. You are going to capitulate as a man. So if you decide, if you discover that every movement, every of her talks, every of her ways, every way, the kind of movement she makes around you, the kind of way she looks at you, is like there is a passion, there is an ulterior, a passion inside. She wants to have you to herself. Please, as a man, withdraw from such a relationship. Those are the 3 reasons I must point out. 1, if you discover that you can't hold yourself, you can't hold your libido, you can't keep your libido in check. 2, if you discover that the friendship or the relationship is bringing a lot of jealousy, a lot of envy from your wife, and she's beginning to complain about it, it's beginning to become a source of problem, a source of conflict between both of you, you must withdraw. And thirdly, if you discover that the woman involved, your friend, is out to get you, is out to lure you to herself and not to bed, you can only hold on for a little while. You can't hold on forever. So the ideal thing is to cut off from that relationship. But where those 3 things are taken care of, there's no reason why a man cannot enjoy a wonderful friendship with the opposite gender. As a person and as a counselor and as an individual, I have close to 5-6 women that are close to me as I'm talking to you. We can share all manner of things. We can say all manner of things. As a matter of fact, some of these women are very close to my wife in terms of friendship. They are friends, and I don't hide them from her. When they call, I answer the call in her presence. And when they want to come to my home, I call them to come to my home without any inhibitions, even in the presence of my wife. We all sit down as a threesome, as a foursome. We all sit down, we chat, we do a lot of things. But my wife knows that they are my friends. And of course, because she's not complaining about them, because she's not envious of our relationship, because in a way, those women are not out to get me in bed, they are just free-flowing friends. Why not? Such a relationship can all go well for everybody, I tell you. So that's just about it. If you are yet to subscribe to this channel, once again, I call you. Please help me. You are helping me. You are helping the viewership to expand. Please recommend this channel to any person around you. Every married person, every adult single, recommend the channel to them. Click on this red button, get subscribed yourself, and pass the information to others. Make comments in some of the things we have said here this evening. Make your comments. I would like to hear from. Now, having said some of the things I just mentioned, the onus now lies on you and your friend to manage your new relationship responsibly by being bold enough to confront one another with the truth. The truth is that you are married, and the truth is also that you must have to introduce her to your spouse so that your spouse is aware of who she is, so that there's no unnecessary negative energy in the relationship. There should be openness, total openness. There must not be any room for any manner of suspicion. This is what you do as a couple, as a person in such a relationship. Don't tolerate any kind of suspicion. Anytime you begin to allow suspicion, that your wife begins to be suspicious of your every move with that lady, then there's a problem somewhere. And how can you stop that suspicion? Make sure that anytime you are answering a call from her, it is in the presence of your wife. If she's there with you, don't pick up your phone and start running outside to answer the call. Don't also log off, cut off the call and say, I will call you later. No, it draws a lot of suspicion. So be bold enough to confront the truth. Both of you should know that you are married and she is not, and therefore that there are boundaries she must not overstep. For instance, she should not call you at odd hours. Those are some of the things. She should not call you at odd hours. She should not make some certain demands that are out of place. I have seen people who make demands without understanding that such a demand may impact negatively on the psyche of the spouse or the man's spouse. It is out of place. You can't call a married man at the wee of the night and say, please run to me, I have a headache. No, it doesn't work that way. So you must be able to manage their affair responsibly. You must be able to honor one another in the relationship. Very, very necessary. But I believe that if there is honor, if there is respect, not just for you as a person, but also for your wife, and your wife also have respect for you and for the individual concerned, there's no reason why you cannot have a wonderful, positive relationship. And there are also benefits when a man is in a close relationship with the members of the opposite gender, because some of the things you may not be able to hear from your wife, you can hear it from them, and then you can compare notes. Sometimes there are things there are some things that are flowing from your wife that you may not understand as an individual. But if you get to some of your friends and say, look at what is happening, what do you think is going on? They'll be able to come up plainly and tell you, this is how your wife is feeling. You better address so and so. Otherwise, this is how we women feel. This is what is going on. And when you confront that issue from that perspective, you get a solution, because every woman knows every woman. So there are advantages in some of these things. But like I said, when you discover that the disadvantages are weighing more than the advantages, please remove yourself, extricate yourself from such a relationship, and God will bless your marriage and bless your home. I thank you very much for giving me time and listening to this wonderful edition. I promise you, wonderful, more gracious editions will come up in the future, and you will all be blessed for it. Please, once again, before you log off, click on this channel button, this red button by my side. Be part of this channel. Click on it, become a subscriber, and further editions will come to you with ease. I thank you very much. Have a wonderful time. God bless you, and God bless your home.